The night she walked out, I had just given her what I thought was the best sex of her life. But when I opened my eyes, she was crying. I used to think I was good in bed. Scratch that, I thought I was amazing in bed. The kind of guy who could leave a woman breathless and begging for more. I prided myself on my moves, my stamina, my knowledge of what women wanted. I had studied all the angles, practiced all the positions, watched every tutorial porn had to offer since I was 13. And when I say watched, I mean I consumed. Every night. Every mood. Every category. I was a student of performance. But nothing prepared me for Tasha Daniels. My name is Jordan Michael and this is my story. Before we get into it, I want you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, and share your thoughts in the comment section. It helps us a lot get discovered. Your support means a lot to us. Tasha wasn't like the girls I had been with before. She was soft-spoken, gentle in the way she touched people, even her words were tender. I met her at an art exhibit. I was just there for the free wine. She was standing in front of this big, abstract painting, the kind that looks like a toddler had a fight with a box of crayons. I was about to walk past when she turned to me and said, "This one reminds me of my last relationship, beautiful chaos that didn't make sense to anyone else." I laughed. She didn't. We exchanged contacts and started talking that night and never really stopped. We ended up texting that whole night. And I don't mean the usual WYD or send a pic routine. She asked me real stuff like what my relationship with my parents was like. If I ever cry when no one's watching. What kind of man I want to be at 40. It felt weird and refreshing. She was warm, introspective, a little weird in a beautiful way. She'd send me random voice notes of birds she heard outside her apartment. She made soup from scratch and listened to Sod when she painted. And God, she smelled like cinnamon and shea butter. Just being around her made me feel soft. Calmer. Like I didn't have to pretend. Our first date. We didn't go to a fancy place. She picked a small poetry cafe downtown. I offered to Uber her there, she said no, she preferred to meet me there herself. She wasn't trying to cash out from the jump like most girls I dated before. She didn't dress to kill either. Simple jeans, oversized button-up, no makeup. And still, I couldn't stop looking at her. She didn't try to impress, and that's what made her unforgettable. The conversation flowed. She had this way of making silence feel safe. She didn't try to fill every pause. She sipped her tea and smiled at the quiet like she was listening to something I couldn't hear. No flirting. No tension. Just connection. Not like the others. Every other girl I dated wanted something up front. A new phone, data money, soft life weekends. And I don't blame them, it's just how things go now. But Zara didn't even let me pay for the second date. She said she wanted things to feel equal. When we talked at night, she never tried to steer the convo into sex. In fact, the first time I flirted too hard, she said, "Can we not do that? I just want to feel safe with someone." That stopped me. No one had ever said that to me. And the wild part? The more she didn't make it about sex, the more I thought about her. All the time. But not in a lusty, porn kind of way. I imagined what it would be like to hold her, not just undress her. She told me she loved cuddling. That kissing slowly was more intimate than any position. She said, "Performance is for porn. I want presence." I laughed nervously. Truth is, I didn't even know what presence felt like in a moment like that. But I wasn't going to lose her. So I played along, or maybe I tried to play up to her level. I listened more, talked less. I gave her space to be herself. We had late-night calls where she read me pieces of her journal. I told her about my high school fights, my dream of opening a studio. I was opening up, but I still kept a part of myself closed. Because deep down, I thought, when we finally have sex, I'll show her I'm worth it, that I can blow her mind. That I'm not like the boring safe guys she's used to. What I didn't know. That exact mindset was the beginning of the end. For a while, I held back. We kissed, we touched, but I waited. I wanted to make it special. Or maybe I just wanted the anticipation to build. I was already planning how I'd blow her mind the first night we slept together. And when it finally happened, I gave her everything. Or so I thought. It happened on a rainy Friday. She made pepper soup and rice. I brought wine. Her apartment smelled like rosemary and vanilla candles. We sat on the floor, laughing over stupid memes, my head on her lap. There was no rush. No pressure. Just warmth. Then, as we were lying on her couch, she leaned in and kissed me first. It was slow, really slow. I felt her hands resting gently on my chest. Her lips didn't demand anything. She just stayed there, soft, breathing, like she was waiting for me to meet her where she was, but I didn't. The moment her shirt came off, something in me switched. I thought, it's go time. Candles. Oil. The playlist. I knew how to hit the right spots, twist my hips, make her legs tremble. And she moaned, quietly, sweetly, but not the way I expected. Not like in the videos. When we finished, I rolled over, satisfied with myself. I even smirked. Then I saw her. She wasn't glowing. She wasn't clinging to me. She was quiet. Still. Staring at the ceiling like it held a secret she couldn't say out loud. You okay? I asked, nudging her shoulder. She nodded, but not really. I didn't know what to do with that. So I kissed her forehead, pulled her close, and chalked it up to nerves. Maybe it was just first-time awkwardness. It happens. But the next few times were the same. She responded, but something was off. She held back. She wasn't cold, but she wasn't present either. And I started to take it personally, so I did what porn taught me, do more. Be rougher. Flip her over. Try something new. Impress her. I didn't realize I was losing her in the process. See, I thought being good in bed was about delivering a performance. But Tasha wanted something else. Something I didn't even know how to give. Real intimacy. And by the time I figured that out, I had already ruined everything. The first time she said it, I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I didn't know how else to respond. You feel distant, she whispered as we lay in bed. I looked down at her, confused. Distant? Babe, I was just inside you. What are you talking about? She didn't smile. She pulled the sheet up to her chest and turned away. And that was the moment I realized I didn't understand her at all. To me, sex was physical. Rhythmic. A score to hit. A reaction to earn. You moan, I win. You shake, I did my job. That's what I grew up on. That's what I believed. And I worked hard at it. I studied positions like I was preparing for an exam. I knew how to last longer, how to switch tempo, when to whisper, when to slap. I treated it like choreography, something you rehearse, perfect, then perform. So when Tasha said I felt distant in bed, it didn't compute. I was doing everything right, wasn't I? That night, after she fell asleep, I lay awake replaying every second of what we just did. From the moment I kissed her neck to when I finished with that final grunt. She moaned. She held me. She even scratched my back. But something about her eyes. They weren't looking at me. They were somewhere else. The next morning, I tried to break the tension with jokes. You were quiet last night. I didn't wear you out, did I? I winked. She gave a tight smile and said, you always think it's about performance. That one stung. But instead of asking what she meant, I got defensive. Are you saying I'm bad in bed? No. I'm saying I don't feel you in bed, she replied. I couldn't understand it. I was there, wasn't I? Physically. I gave her everything I had. My body, my hands, my mouth, my time. But not my presence. Not my heart. Not my eyes. I realized I didn't look into her eyes once the entire night. She asked me later if I ever slowed down just to feel her breathing under me. If I noticed how her body tensed when I grabbed too hard. If I ever kissed her without trying to make it lead to sex. If I ever held her just to hold her, not as foreplay, not a setup, just to hold. I didn't know how to answer. Because deep down, I hadn't done any of those things. To me, intimacy was a checklist. Not a conversation. Not a dance. Not a language spoken without words. And even when she asked me to go slower, to connect more, I panicked. Because without the performance, who was I? I tried to fix it the only way I knew how, do more. Not emotionally. Physically, I watched a new video that night. Some rough domination scene. The guy tied the girl's hands, whispered dirty things, slapped her thighs. She looked like she loved it. So I made a plan. A surprise. I was going to show Tasha just how present I could be, by blowing her mind with a little BDSM spice. It didn't go how I imagined. And that? That was the last straw. It was supposed to be special. I found a video labeled Intense Emotional Dominance. It looked like connection. The guy tied her hands, whispered in her ear, choked her a little. She cried. She smiled. She begged for more. The comments said things like, "This is real intimacy." So that's what I prepared. That night, when Tasha walked into my room and saw the belt on the bed, she paused. I kissed her neck from behind. She flinched. "You okay?" I whispered. She nodded, but it was the same kind of nod she gave the first time we had sex, the quiet one. The uncertain one. But I ignored it. Because I had a plan. I tied her wrists gently and whispered, "Trust me." She said nothing. Her breathing changed, but not from arousal, from tension. I thought it was excitement. I pushed her to the bed. Not violently, but with purpose. Climbed on top of her. Kissed her hard. No eye contact. I started rough. Hands on her thighs. Gripping her waist. Faster than usual. Harder. I slapped her thigh once, then again, the sound loud in the room. She gasped. I leaned into her ear. "Yeah, you like that?" She didn't answer. So I took that silence as permission. I grabbed her neck, not to hurt her, just like I'd seen. My movements were fast, mechanical, like a routine I'd memorized. She wasn't moaning. She wasn't moving. She wasn't there. "Jordan, please, slow down." That should have stopped me. That should have made me pause, check her eyes, ask if she was okay. But I didn't. I thought she was role-playing. I thought that's what people said in those kinds of scenes. So I kept going. I thought I was giving her something unforgettable. I was. Just not in the way I imagined. When I finished, I lay beside her, panting, proud of myself. I looked over, expecting her to snuggle into me like in those romantic sex montages. But she was facing the wall. Arms curled up. Wrists red. Silent. "Tasha?" No answer. "Tash, you okay?" She turned slightly. Her eyes were glassy. I felt like I wasn't even there. I sat up. "Wait, what do you mean?" "I thought you liked it." She pulled the sheet to her chest like she was covering something more than just skin. I felt used, Jordan. Not touched. Just, taken. I froze. That sentence hit like a bullet. I tried to defend myself. I thought you wanted more passion. More, spice. I wanted you. Not a show. Not pain. Not that. She got up slowly, dressed in silence. And for the first time since I met her, I felt like a stranger in my own room. She didn't slam the door. She didn't yell. She just left. That night, I sat alone in that candlelit room, the scent of sandalwood still in the air, wondering how I managed to break something so soft, so beautiful, with something I thought was love. She didn't leave the next day. She stayed. Quietly. Moved through the house like a ghost with skin. She made tea in the morning. Answered emails on the couch. Took a call with her mom, but something in her was gone. And the worst part? I knew. And I couldn't say anything to fix it. That evening, I came home early. I bought flowers. Cooked jollof rice. Washed the sheets. She wasn't there. Bedroom, empty. Bathroom, dry towel, untouched sink. Her drawer, open, bare. Closet, hanger swaying, like something had just been taken off them. That's when I saw it. A note on my pillow. Simple paper. Blue ink. No perfume. Just her handwriting, "You never made love to me. You just performed near me. I needed your heart. You only gave me rhythm. Tasha." I sat on the edge of the bed, note in hand, heart in pieces. I wanted to scream. Punch a wall. Call her. Run out and chase her cab like in the movies. But I didn't. I just sat there, in the same bed where I thought I'd given her everything. Turns out, I'd given her nothing that mattered. For the next few days, I couldn't eat. Couldn't focus. I replayed every moment we'd been together, trying to figure out where I lost her. I remembered the way she used to curl into me after sex, slowly, like a sigh. The time she whispered, "Can we just lie here a while? I don't want this to be over so fast." How I brushed that off and started fingering her again. Because to me, stillness was boring. But to her, stillness was intimacy. Presence. Security. She wasn't asking for more sex. She was asking for me. I texted her. No reply. Called. Straight to voicemail. I saw she viewed my WhatsApp status, but didn't respond to the "I'm sorry" message I posted with a sad emoji and one of our old pictures. That's when it hit me, I didn't just lose her. I never really had her. Because the version of me I gave her wasn't real. It was porn me. Performance me. The one who learned sex through fake moans and dominant scripts. The one who believed choking and spanking equals passion. But that version couldn't love her. Couldn't listen. Couldn't slow down. A week later, I booked my first therapy session. I told the therapist everything, from how I started watching porn at 13 to how I couldn't climax without imagining some stranger online being degraded. She looked at me and said, "You didn't lose her because you're bad. You lost her because you were never taught what real intimacy looks like." That sentence cracked me open. So I deleted my porn folder. Unfollowed every model I had bookmarked. Started journaling. Started breathing. Started learning what it meant to be present, not just during sex, but in life. But it was too late for her. And sometimes, I still wake up hoping she'll text me. That she'll say, "I see you're healing. I'm proud of you." But that day hasn't come. Maybe it never will. 6 months. That's how long it's been since I last opened a porn site. No tabs. No incognito mode. No 2 a.m. scrolls on adult subreddits. Just me, sitting with myself. With my urges. My loneliness. My guilt, and with the memory of her. Tasha. I still think about her when I brush my teeth. When I buy cinnamon-scented candles at the store. When Saw plays at the mall and I pretend I'm not about to cry. I wish I could say I stopped watching porn because I'm healed. But the truth is, I stopped because I realized it was teaching me how to lose love. Porn taught me that sex is about reactions, not emotions. That rough is better than soft. That faster is better than slower. That moaning equals approval. That silence means mystery, not discomfort. But real sex? Real intimacy? It's awkward. It's quiet. It's messy and slow. It's eye contact. Breathing. Stillness. It's stopping to ask, "Are you okay?" It's holding her afterward, not because you want round two, but because you want her to feel safe. Wanted. Seen. Tasha tried to teach me that. She didn't yell or beg. She whispered. Withdrew. Hoped I'd notice, but I was too busy chasing the next high. The next performance. And now, I know what it cost me. I see people online still making jokes like, "Porn doesn't affect real life, bro. It's just a fantasy." But fantasy can become a prison if you never step outside of it. I'm not judging anyone who watches. But if I could go back to the 13-year-old me sneaking into the dark with headphones on, I'd tell him, "This isn't where you'll learn how to love a woman. This isn't how you learn to be touched. You'll carry these images into your real relationships, and when someone offers you real love, you won't know what to do with it." It's been 6 months. Some nights, I still reach for my phone out of habit. But instead of opening old tabs, I journal. Or breathe. Or call my therapist. I'm relearning how to feel. How to pause. How to kiss slowly. I've been with no one since Tasha. And maybe the next woman I meet won't be her. But she'll get a better version of me, a version that knows love doesn't have to be loud, or rough, or fast to be real. Tasha, if you ever hear this, I'm sorry. You deserved a man. Not a performance.